Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Fanatic, and I am back with another video, and today we're going to be diving in to figure out 3 teams that shockingly will make the playoffs and 3 teams that shockingly will not make the playoffs. So, before we begin, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, I introduce 3 teams that will shockingly make the playoffs and 3 teams that won't. So the first team that will not make the playoffs, in my opinion, are the Chiefs. So the Chiefs last year got very, very close to making it to the Super Bowl. They're one of the most exciting teams to watch. Last year, however, they came up just short to the Patriots. And I know that they do have Patrick Mahomes, who I believe won MVP last year and was on the cover of Madden 20. He was a beast. He was unstoppable last year. One of the best first seasons of a quarterback, arguably ever. I'm not even sure it's arguable. And they do have Travis Kelce, and with Rob Gronkowski gone, Travis Kelce could be arguably the best tight end in the NFL. They also have guys like Sammy Watkins and Damian Williams to help out Patrick Mahomes, but they did lose Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt to, I believe, both domestic abuse charges, which is very unfortunate and very sad. They also lost a big piece on their defense in Eric Berry in a trade. I forgot who he went to. But with all these losses, is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid able to control their team and guide them to the playoffs? I wouldn't put all my money on it. Will I have the New York Jets? I believe that New York Jets are going to shock everybody this year and find a way to make the playoffs. They have their quarterback, which they haven't had in a while, and Sam Darnold, and they have a new coach and Adam Gase to kind of guide him along his way in his time in New York. They also have arguably the best running back in the NFL, Le'Veon Bell, to help out Sam Darnold and to relieve even more of the stress. They have a very nice wide receiver in Robbie Anderson. They also are building one of the best defenses in the NFL, in my mind. You have Jamal Adams, I believe is his name. Yeah, Jamal Adams, from a first-round pick from a couple years ago. Sorry, I just drew a blank on his name for some reason. You have Avery Williamson that they got from the Titans a year or two ago. I'm still upset about that as a Titans fan. You have Leonard Williams, a great edge rusher. You have what I believe was the second best player in the draft that they drafted at number 3 in Quinnen Williams. So with all of those elements and their quarterback Sam Darnold leading the way, I believe that the Jets have what it takes to make it to the playoffs. Won't I have the Baltimore Ravens? Even though the Baltimore Ravens do have their young quarterback in Lamar Jackson and another new running back in Mark Ingram, who should help out that offense tremendously. They did lose a bunch of defensive help, especially at the linebacker position, losing C.J. Mosley and longtime veteran Terrell Suggs. That I think will cost them dearly. They also do have a rapidly declining Marshall Yanda, which could end up being a problem. They did lose their safety blanket and longtime quarterback Joe Flacco. And can Lamar Jackson step up to the plate with no safety blanket? I'm afraid he might get injured, and I'm afraid he might just not live up to the hype that has been built up for him. So I want him to succeed, and I want the Ravens to succeed, but there's a chance they won't. For my second will, I have the 49ers. I believe that they have all the tools necessary to make the playoffs, starting off with their young, talented quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a beast. I feel like he has all the tools from training under Tom Brady necessary to win. They have George Kittle, who really came on the scene this year as a fabulous tight end, top 5 in the NFL in my mind. They have Jordan Matthews, great physical red zone threat wide receiver. They have a great veteran offensive tackle in Joe Staley, who has been a rock for this franchise for quite a while now. They have, in my opinion, the best player in the draft, selected at number 2, in Nick Bosa, and alongside him is one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL, DeForest Buckner, and also former high round draft picks that really haven't filled their potential, such as Solomon Thomas and Eric Armstead. In the secondary, they have a top cornerback in Richard Sherman that they traded for from the Seahawks. last year, as well as a young, versatile safety in Eric Reed. And with all this talent led by Kyle Shanahan, I believe one of the best young coaches in the NFL, he's right up there with Sean McVay, in my opinion. I feel like the 49ers have all the talent and all the tools necessary to get the job done. So for my third and final won't, I have the Chicago Bears. I'm just not sure if Mitchell Trubisky is good enough to do it. They do have a great coach in my mind in Matt Nagy, but again, it's back to the Mitchell Trubisky issue. I'm not 100% bought into him. Even though the Bears do have a great young power running back and trying to remember his name for a second, Jordan Howard, that's it. And a couple of good pairs of wide receivers such as Allen Robinson, Tyler Gabriel. But again, it's just Mitchell. You need a good quarterback to distribute it, and I'm not sure Mitchell Trubisky is that guy. They do have, in my opinion, the best outside linebacker in the NFL in Khalil Mack, who they traded for last year. I think it was definitely worth it. One downside is they traded away Adrian Amos to the Packers, which I do not think was the right decision. But again, I don't think Matt Nagy's incredible play calling is quite good enough to make Mitchell Trubisky's career. It'll help it, but Mitchell Trubisky is going to have to make a lot of strides this year to convince me that he is good enough to carry this franchise to the playoffs and deep into the playoffs at that. So I'm just not sure if Mr. Trubisky is the guy that's going to get it done. It's going to be fun to see. So for my final will, I have the Raiders. Now hear me out here. I think that the Raiders have a genuine chance of making the playoffs. Would I put my money on it? I'm not sure, but I think that they do have a chance. Starting with their young QB and Derek Carr. He had a great season a couple years ago. He's been down recently, but if he can go back to his days of MVP play alongside one of the Raiders' newest pickups and Antonio Brown, and in the backfield, they have a first-round pick in Josh Jacobs, who they selected with one of their 3 first-round picks. This year, they have a fabulous offensive line, one of the best in the NFL, in my opinion. And even though I don't agree with the trade they made with Khalil Mack last year, I like the moves that they made for the most part on their defense ever since then, such as Cleveland Farrell with the number 4 overall pick. I don't love the pick, but I love the player, if that makes sense. They have a young cornerback that they picked in the first round a couple years ago in Gareon Conley, who I think has a lot of potential. He just hasn't quite reached it yet. And, obviously the elephant in the room, John Gruden, he's won a Super Bowl before. Maybe he can do it again this time just with the Raiders. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit the notification bell, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, and peace.